In this week's episode of LaVar Ball is ruining his kids' lives, LaMelo Ball and LIANGELO Ball are headed to Lithuania. LaMelo and LIANGELO have signed an official contract with an overseas team named Prenu Vitatas. Kevin Durant will be joining them soon. Now, I'm a bit late to this story, but that doesn't make it any less retarded. LaVar sending LIANGELO to a foreign country is understandable, but sending LaMelo there with him is stupid. And hating on LaVar Ball has become a meme. Some people who hate LaVar Ball don't even know who he is. In fairness, if they got to know him, they'd probably hate him even more, so it all kind of works out.
So let's get it, baby.
Fuck you, LaVar.
Y'all
Your
know.
son.
Okay, that's good.
Now, the biggest problem of all is their newest coach doesn't even speak English. Well, if you coach LIANGELO or LaMelo, really it doesn't even matter whether you speak English or not. They're not gonna listen to you anyways. But this is still a huge deal. In a sport where communication is so important, you can't even talk to your own team. Apparently, the coach speaks Lithuanian and no English at all. I mean, to be fair, LIANGELO can barely speak English himself, so I guess it evens out, right?
Went to a Louis Vuitton store, and he's been playing with Zoe and Melo, period, or something like that.
Now, claiming LaVar to be ruining his kids' lives is a harsh statement, but how would you feel if you went from living in LA with your family and playing for one of the best sports programs in the country to living in a city with 8,000 people during wintertime and not even speaking the language? I mean, if you're a thief, it's probably some rightfully earned karma, but if you're LaMelo Ball, it's the worst possible thing your father could do for you. It's the worst thing he could do. Aside from exploiting your popularity, trying to sell a shoe with your name, and completely destroying your college eligibility. But you get the point. And even though LaMelo is the better player, LIANGELO is most likely going to have more success in this league. This is one of those times where him eating the largest slice of cake and getting the biggest plate of breakfast is a good thing. I know LIANGELO isn't fat anymore, but it's still a fun joke to make, and ironically, the bigger his body, the better he will perform. Seriously speaking, him bulking up is a great move. Jello, the next time you're in a 7-Eleven, get as many candy bars as you want. Just make sure you don't, yeah. LaMelo Ball is 16 years old and weighs about 160 pounds, which is actually more than me, yeah. I'd probably get my ass kicked, but so will LaMelo in this Lithuanian league. Because I don't know how familiar you guys are with their players, but they're about 28 years old on average, and I'm guessing around 250 pounds. In fairness, that's probably the average NBA player as well, but LaMelo is still 16 years old, so the culture shock is going to be pretty insane for him. And by culture shock, I mean the next time he attempts 33 pointers in a game, he's gonna have his fingers cut off. He shouldn't worry too much. LIANGELO is also gonna get his fingers cut off. So yeah, it's safe to say they had no idea what they were getting themselves into while signing this contract. Also, that's a real nice watch there, Jello. No, I'm not implying anything. I'm just saying, that's not a bad watch.
Okay, whole lot of gang shit, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we're enough the diamonds in the bitch and the ball, you know what I'm saying? And the ball, you know what I'm saying?
Now, I don't know how much of the Ball brothers we're gonna see anymore. I do hope LaVar and his film crew keep the cameras rolling, even though they're in a foreign country. I mean, the only cameras rolling in China were of the surveillance variety. And I've been reading up a bit on their new team, and apparently they're not gonna get a lot of playing time, and about 1,000 people show up to the games. I mean, LaMelo in high school drew bigger crowds than that, and he's just gonna get dominated in this league. Ironically enough, from this point forward, I'd say LIANGELO is being given a bigger chance to make the NBA than LaMelo, which isn't saying much at all. I'm really not convinced that these bros can even run pick and roll. So there's just no way this was a good move by LaVar, and there's no way LaMelo can grow tall enough or get his body to be big enough to play in this league. Also, an important thing when it comes to sports is clout. No, I'm not talking about Rice Gum and Jake Paul. I mean the type of clout where you can miss 20 shots in a row, but the coaches and teammates still trust you and know what you can do. LaMelo had that type of clout in LA. LIANGELO, no, I don't think he did. But in this Lithuanian league, as soon as he tries his whole half-court circus clown act, he's being thrown to the bench. So LaMelo Ball will most likely never sniff the NBA, LIANGELO Ball is probably going to get caught stealing again, LaVar Ball is as dumb as ever, and yet somehow, Flight still took an L. And I don't mean to be disrespectful at all to Lithuania, but from what we've heard, the specific city that the Ball sisters are staying in is kind of boring and there's nothing to do. I mean, it's a city with 8,000 people. If you think this is LaVar's master plan, you're an idiot. If you think he has something up his sleeve, you're fooling yourself. Only thing LaVar has up his sleeve is a... Once again, before we jump right back into the video, I'd like to tell you about SeatGeek. Basically an app that delivers the best deal on tickets from all over the internet, and they have a 0 to 100 rating, which lets you know if you got a good deal or a bad one. Green means really good, orange is alright, and red is bad. A really cool feature is you can see the view you're going to get before you go, so check out the link in the description and use my code GDH for $20 back on your first purchase.